the pilot of the Amazing Digital Circus airs, we are left on the edge of our seats while we watch the many twists the show takes us on. Although we don't know much about the new show, the characters we have already met make a big first impression. With them all stuck inside the digital circus, it only makes sense for them to start to go crazy. As we meet every new character, we can quickly see what would cause them to become abstracted, and what sets them aside from the others. As soon as we meet Kaufmo and see he was abstracted, we can't help but wonder who could be next, and in today's video, we're going to answer that question.
I've been looking for this. Thanks for keeping an eye on it, Coffee. I'm gonna head out. See ya.
Number 1. Kinger. When we first meet Kinger, we can see him hidden under a fort of pillows and blankets, claiming it to be his impenetrable force. He seems to be the most fearful of all the characters we meet, especially after he leaves to take care of the situation with the Gloinks. Throughout the rest of the episode, we can see him scream in terror whenever he sees Gangle, as if he's seen a ghost. Later, once the rest of the team has taken care of the Gloinks terrorizing the circus, Zubul tells Kinger they expected him to be the next one to be abstracted. With his fear of nearly everything inside the circus tent and him already losing his mind, we can assume the next one to be abstracted will be Kinger. Although the next episode has yet to be confirmed, if we see the return of the Amazing Digital Circus, Kinger will likely be the next one to join the abstracted in the cellar.
I don't know what I'm looking at here.
We saw Gloink carry one of Zubul's pieces down there, remember?
Number 2. Gangle. In the same way we see Kinger behave while trying to defeat the Gloinks, Gangle doesn't do well with helping him. Being upset about everything that goes wrong keeps her preoccupied throughout the episode. Although her sanity seems more intact than her friends, Gangle is still at risk of being abstracted simply because of how much fear she shares with Kinger. When faced with this fear head-on, she also shuts down and doesn't do much help. Unlike her friends, Gangle seems to care more about the people she lives with. We hope this will keep her alive longer since she knows what it takes to be abstracted. Although Gangle will likely fall victim to her fear eventually, being so scared of being abstracted could save her from it for a while. This fear cannot keep her safe forever, and after Kinger leaves, she will likely be the next in line.
What's happening?
It's just Kaufmo. Don't worry about it.
Number 3. Pomni. As the main character and the newest to the group of friends, Pomni still has a high chance of being abstracted. We see her deny being there throughout the episode, claiming everything she is experiencing is nothing more than a dream. She only accepts her reality at the end of the episode, when she realizes there's no way out of the digital circus she has found herself in. Knowing this makes her seem more upset than she was at the beginning of the episode, and we can only assume that she won't be quick to accept her fate and give up on finding an exit. Even as she becomes increasingly upset throughout the episode, the rest of the characters quickly dismiss her feelings as they go. This could lead to her assuming they don't care as well while forcing her to hide away like Kinger and Kaufmo until eventually Pomni becomes just as crazy as the two of them. In the same way that Kaufmo became abstracted, finding an exit is her main goal, and it could be the same thing that eventually leads to her madness. After traveling through the back rooms of the exit door and ending up in the void, Pomni seems to have lost faith in her ability to escape. This could help her survive longer than some of her other friends, but her obsession with finding a way out will lead her into madness. If she became more like Jax or Zubul, she would have a better chance at surviving the digital circus long enough to escape. However, with what we know of her character already, Pomni is not the type to simply give up on finding an exit, which will eventually lead to her abstraction.
Was that an exit door I saw out there? Is that a way to leave?
Number 4. Ragatha. Although Ragatha seems to have accepted living in the digital circus when she talks to Pomni, as soon as the three of them go to find Kaufmo, Ragatha explains how important it is that Pomni keeps her head in a good place. With how she explains to Pomni the importance of staying calm so that she doesn't lose her mind, we can only assume Ragatha knows so much about what not to do because she has felt the same way. This alone would help her survive longer than most of her friends, since she's learned how to calm herself down when her mind starts to wander, making her most likely to stay alive longer than most. We see this mostly when Kane heals her, and rather than become upset, she just sits next to Pomni quietly. Since she has now lost another friend to the cellar, we can expect her to get distressed again. At the end of the episode, after Kane cures her, she seems disturbed and doesn't even talk to Pomni. Although she looks stable at the time, we can only assume after more of her friends become abstracted, she will become even more upset. This will likely continue until she falls into the same headspace Kinger and Kaufmo were in.
Do you think pairing them up together is a good idea?
Of course I do.
Number 5. Zubul. Since we see Zubul the least in the pilot, it's hard to say when they could get abstracted or if it's even a possibility. From what we can make of the characters, they seem independent and have come to terms with their reality of living inside the circus. Even after the Gloinks take them away, they are not too upset and do not let their real emotions show. They also seem similar to Jax and understand that the only way to survive the world they found themselves in is to accept it and not be obsessed with fixing their lives. From what we know of the people who have already lost their minds and are most likely to be next in line, the main reason people are abstracted is that they they start to go crazy since they're inside the digital circus and, eventually, their minds snap, making them realize they'll never leave. The difference between the other abstracted characters and Zooble is that they have accepted their fate and have learned to live in their situation without worrying about their future or searching for a way out.
I mean, no offense, Kinger, but I always thought you would be next.
Thank you.
Number 6, Jax. With Jax seemingly in charge, he is quick to make light of their situation or make fun of Pomni when she explains she must be dreaming. We can see that Jax has learned to deal with his life better than anyone else and has decided to accept his new reality rather than fight it. With him showing little reaction to his friend being abstracted or to the Gloink Queen, we can assume he has seen much in his years living in the digital circus. Since he's experienced so much in his digital home, Jax knows what to expect from Kane and has become accustomed to how life is changing around him. His experience also helps him avoid becoming abstracted since he knows the best ways to keep his mind intact. With Jax being the least likely to get abstracted, it means he has to watch as his friends meet a similar fate to Kaufmo. This could eventually break the resolve he has mastered and lead him to madness. With what we know of the character so far, however, Jax seems the most likely to survive the longest. And although he's given up on finding a way out, as he explains to Pomni, he might just wait out his imprisonment long enough to gain his freedom.
Oh, he's doing great. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen him this happy before.
With only the pilot to go off of, fans are left with many questions when the episode ends. From what we know of the show and its genre in horror, we can only assume we will see more abstractions as the show continues. Since each character has a different personality and struggles with separate problems, we're interested in watching as they learn to work together to survive, or eventually lose their minds. With no confirmation of when the show will keep going, we can only wait in anticipation for more answers. Until then, we hope to see more of each character and learn more about them before they inevitably get abstracted, just like their friend Kaufmo.
It's good to know he hasn't completely lost his mind.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications to stay updated on our uploads.
Look at my hand. I didn't know what to do.
It's okay.